Cape Town, a place of breathtaking beauty, of winelands, a playground for people chasing the sun, a place of contrasts, where in the shadows, the struggle for survival is an everyday challenge.
My name is Carol Turner Record. I'm Anthony's wife, and we started Light from Africa together.
I'm a South African, born and bred in Cape Town. I did reasonably well in Europe with my business there. I thought I'd like to put something back into this country. So our objective was to provide assistance at 2 orphanages. The first one was in Khayelitsha. The important factor is to be able to support them once they've been built and up and running.
The fact that I'm the mother of an adopted child is probably one of the big reasons why I was interested in helping orphans. But I think also the fact that children are raising their own siblings because there's nobody left to look after them. That really particularly touched us.
You can help 2, you can help 10, but you certainly can't, I get choked up. You certainly can't deal with the whole problem of AIDS, but you can make a difference by supporting 1, 10, 50 with whatever you're doing.
Anthony Record and I were at school together in the class of 1956. And at one of our reunions, much later, we decided that there was a need for a charity that would assist the poor and support orphans and vulnerable children. And so we began to think about it, and we founded the Light from Africa Foundation in 2004. And because I had been a close colleague of Archbishop Desmond Tutu, I was asked by the board of the new foundation to approach him and ask him to be our patron, which he was very happy to do, as he shares our concern for justice and for the poor and for vulnerable people. And so I went to visit him, and as a result of that visit, he wrote a letter which reads, "Dear Anthony and Carol, as I have indicated to Bishop Christopher Gregorowski, I would be pleased to be a patron of the Light from Africa Foundation, and I hope that my association with the project will be helpful in contributing to its success." That's how we began, and we've continued all these years.
We invite you to journey with us now as we share some of our urban and rural projects and hear from the dedicated facilitators who are so vital to the growth and success of these programs.
If we can create role models in our communities, young people that could take up leadership positions, I think that in itself, drugs would become lesser, domestic violence would become lesser, because our young people will have a reference point to see that that's the kind of person that I want to be. Look at so-and-so coming at the same community, leading his life and making something of his or her life.
Here in the beautiful Kirstenbosch Gardens, I run workshops for caregivers who work with vulnerable children and youth at risk in children's homes, places of safety, and early child development projects. Our creativity exercises and walking in the Kirstenbosch Botanical Gardens, it is a much needed emotional replenishment. Having someone to talk to about their journeys, about their jobs, and the hardship has been reported to be a much needed gesture. I just want to see their lives moving from A to B. Most of these ladies and men, they are stuck. They can't move on. They don't know how to move on. They need a push or they need an encouragement. Somebody will be behind them and say, you know what, you can do it. You can do it. So Light from Africa is doing an amazing, amazing job.
Light from Africa Foundation, they had joined or approached the Peter Clark Art Centre as we've done work within schools, and they have seen some of the works we've done. So our connection with the Light of Africa is we do the creative arts within schools and communities. We do believe that you need the buy-in from your principal as well as your creative arts teacher or school, so that when you are working within a school that you have that community or the team and support. So if teachers and principals are put in and keen, that is where we tend to thrive within those communities and within those areas.
I come from a very violent community, basically an overpark. Sometimes some people would resolve to doing different kinds of things, like taking tablets to not feel anything, to cut themselves, or dealing with getting bullied at school and all of that. So art is it's a good way of getting everything out. Like, I really don't know how to explain it, but just after I'm done painting, I always feel better.
As we shift our focus from urban to rural projects, we find ourselves in the picturesque village of Seebrak, which was established in 1812 by the London Mission Society. The original Khoi name means paradise, but sadly the community continues to face many challenges in a post-apartheid South Africa.
What the foundation do in Seebrak is super important, and we really would love them to continue for many more years, because our kids, my kids, they absolutely need us, because this is what we want for them. Seebrak's not very big and there's not a lot of things to do. So me as an artist and as an art teacher, facilitator for the foundation, very grateful, and I would really love to see this grow even bigger and better and see more things going and happening in Seebrak.
When Derek contacted me about some plants that Light of African Foundation actually want to donate, I was super excited, because I have envisioned, because I saw this place was so dry and I need some plants. And when she phoned me and she said, Light of African Foundation, they want to give us some plants, I said, yeah man, that was the right moment. Now I know I can provide these people with the plants, and actually it will actually change their lives here. And I believe that the program what are we running now will go bigger and bigger. At the end, what we want is that the whole Berridale must have their own background gardens. I don't want it hands out anymore. What I want is that people must now provide for themselves from their own gardens. There's a philosophy that I believe in my life. If you want people to support you, you have to start doing things, and from that people will support you. And you can see where people are very passionate here about the garden. You can see the development of how things grow, and things are much greener than other gardens. And every time when I come in here and I see how the plants are growing, and the love of these people, love their gardens, that is, I must maybe a funny guy, but that just gives me the energy to come back and back. I like to see difference in what I'm doing, to see difference, not in me, but in people. Like if I'm going home and I go home tonight and go sleep, then I know these people, they won't go hungry. They will provide for themselves, and they will have something on the table tonight.
There are very few opportunities for girls in these rural areas. Parents are often absent and abuse is common. Girls with Goals strive to uplift, educate and help equip girls for adult life.
Not all girls' mother will talk to you openly like they do. So I would recommend this group to them and tell them to come here and listen what Arlene Kadri can. The biggest problem girls are facing in this community is teenage pregnancy. because many girls of 16 till 17 are falling pregnant now in this community. And I think the reasons for that is there aren't many opportunities for girls, or many clubs for girls or young people to keep them busy with.
They love it to come to the computer class because every time then I tell them it's computer time now, and then they are very excited and they perform and they go on because it's nice here and the environment is nice because they actually learn something. So to do it on the computers are a different type of learning for them, and not every children, all the children are visual children. They want to do it themselves and interact with this stuff. And then the other thing is we would like to expand this computer class, so have more computers for the children to work on, because this is the small class, and if there are 35 then they must sit together, and that's not ideal. We don't like that.
I can work on computers because they wake up your brain, and everything you do on that on the computer makes your brain go clever and clever and clever.
Very few people have the ability or the energy or the aptitude to start their own charity. It is devilishly hard work. If you really want to do something, try to find a charity that's supporting something that you believe in and write them a check. Every charity on earth needs help, and they need money.
Ask us how you can donate, fund a project, or partner with one of our programs. Light from Africa, lighting flames of creativity and hope in young lives.